Okay, so today I want to talk about just some basic stepping. Right? These are all basic videos, basic techniques. They don't get heavy into the application side, and they're for the beginner. They're foundational, but if you do them correct, right, everything else will follow. So on the floor, I have my pair of slippers, and I have a stick to show the center line. So to represent right, center line right in front of somebody and the other person's 2 feet. So I'm doing this by myself. But I want to talk about sidestepping. So when you sidestep, you want to move basically half a body. Okay? So if I step to the side here, that's half a body. But you want to stick to the person's center, so you have to walk around them. So in the basic learning, we teach step 45 degrees. And stepping 45 degrees, you follow with your body. So when I step 45, my waist is going to naturally turn. So I'm going to step as if I'm walking 45. I'm going to look to the front. But you see how my body turns this way. Okay, so if my hands are up here and I step, right, 45 degrees. Okay. Now remember, going back a little to your horse, right? We have your training horse, and we have what we call the fighting horse, your upright horse. So we have to do a little bit of both. But when we're doing application, today is a little bit more about training horse. So anyway, we step, right? I want to step half a body length, a body width. And as I step, I'm going to shuffle my foot to the side. So if something is coming here, right, to my center, I want to step half a body length to the side. So that brings the point of contact to here. Okay? But I want to step 45 degrees. And the other thing I'm going to do, right, because I'm stepping, I'm walking. Now, if I step half a body length and I step here, you notice how my foot now lines up with the outside of the other person's right foot. Okay? So my right foot now steps up here. So if I step up here, I'm automatically stepping on their feet. Okay? But that takes 2 steps. If I step only to the side, I'm getting further away from the person. So you want to maintain that distance. If I step 45 degrees, right, my body is turned, and then this foot shuffles up, and I step up, I'm going to step on that person's foot automatically. Okay? So it would be 45 and step. Okay? So in the training, first of all, figure out how to step 45. So you have a straight line, you have a partner, but teach yourself to step and relax. Right? So step 45 and relax. Okay? Don't try and make a big body and all of that. Just step naturally. Okay? So getting that habit of stepping out of the way, 45. Then stepping and shuffling that foot with you. So step and step. Okay? Or step and a light slide. Your initial reaction, a lot of times when people are learning, you want to step and you're so focused on that person, they're throwing a punch at you, right? If your right hand comes on this side, right? I'm stepping outside, but everybody wants to turn towards them. And there is a point when you can start turning, but in the very beginning, I want you to learn to just step to the side. And one of the reasons for stepping to the side is that if you're straight here, and now my body is 45, and you're pressing into me, my base is wider, right? You have to press against here. If I turn to you this way, right, and I'm standing straight, and you push me here, right, I'm much more unstable. But if you try and push me on the side, I have a nice wide side base. So in the beginning, just learn to step here. You can use the Mor Poon Jeong. Right? The Mor Poon Jeong will meet the punch, the oncoming punch, and you're actually only, when you first teach the Mor Poon Jeong, you might say, where does the hand go? Hand goes to the opposite shoulder. Okay? But my body's not moving, I'm not stepping. If I pick my hand up, right, punch is coming here to the center line. So really I just want to meet it on the center line. And I'm not, in reality, it's a little bit outside of center to make up for the thickness of the hand. But if I step halfway, then my hand doesn't have to travel all the way here. My hand travels all the way here and I don't turn my waist, right? This binds. And so be careful, there's other things going on before you say, oh, that's good or that's bad. But by stepping to the side, I just pretty much just raise my hand, aiming for this center, and I step away. And this leg has to travel with me. If the person is barreling at me, maybe I don't need to step up because they have so much momentum that maybe I do want to just step sideways. But I prefer, even if they're coming fast, I still prefer stepping up as a habit. Okay? So you can bring up the Mor Poon Jeong, bring it halfway, right? I step up 45, and the hand doesn't have to travel as far, so that makes you faster. So by stepping halfway and just blocking halfway, you meet the block. Okay? Punch is still coming here, bring this foot up, and the idea is that now the punch, the strike is right on the side of the body. Okay? So we have other blocks, other catches, and such. But just at beginning, step 45, right? Body is face 45. Just pick up the hand to here, and when you're learning and you're doing the drill, you want to practice second finger, second line, eye level. Okay? Later on, you'll just automatically start to make those small little adjustments for your partner or whoever's throwing a punch at you or shoving a stick at you or something. Yeah. But better to be up here high and you have all of this to block, okay? As opposed to being low and you miss and you get hit in the face, you get hit in the eye. So better to have the hand up here. Okay? This hand should slide up, okay? Right into place. Okay? So again, make it as you do it, it doesn't seem to turn as much 45. So for the teaching, you want to really make sure you step 45. Okay? Not look 45, just step 45 and focus your head right in the middle. Okay? This foot travels with you. Okay? So from here, right, I've stepped, I shuffle this foot in. So now I'm in the same stance. And from here, the next step would be the right foot steps up. It's free. So if I'm stepping up 45 and you're coming at me or the person is coming at me traveling this way, right? If I step up and they're traveling, then I end up on the side. Okay? And if I step here, right, now we're very close. We're inside, right? We're inside fighting. Okay? And again, because we're very close, if my body is this way, then I have a nice wide base. And if I turn this way and you're strong, right, you can just push me over. But if I sit this way, I'm fine. So I just want to step and step up. Okay? And there's other techniques that you start to refine where you can actually walk around the person. So remember, this is just these are just basics. Right? So 45, right? Blocking, shuffling, stepping up, and right on top of the foot. Stepping up 45, the body is turned, shuffling, stepping up. Right? Stepping up right on the foot. So learn the width very well, right? Where your width is consistent as you step. Right? It's consistent if you're doing training horse, or if you're doing fighting horse, stand up horse, right? Where you can move faster. So just going back to training horse becomes fighting horse, right? But a training horse, it helps you develop your stability, your strength and such. Okay? So again, practice this. Practice without the shuffle, looking straight, right? Body turned, right? Avoid this, right? Just step naturally, right? And stepping up. Sometimes I would just practice shuffling, right? Just bringing that leg with me. Sometimes it's a step, shuffle, step up. You can see I'm stepping up on my heel. I'm going to press down on the foot, right? So it's right there. It's just built right nicely. As you start, if you have a partner, right, slowly throw that punch so you get used to it. And what you'll find eventually is the palm will start blocking right about, it'll start ending out around here. And after a while, you'll start noticing, you'll start catching the elbow. If you catch the forearm, right, the person can bend. And if I'm coming at you and you catch my forearm, I can bend towards you. If you end up catching my elbow, I can still bend, but you're blocking, you have control over that. All up here, you have control over that. Okay? So hand slide right on the hip, right, the sao, right on the hip, open hand. Mor Poon Jeong, right, from here. Just a simple basic block. Just relax as you do it. Just remember to face the way, have your body face the way you're stepping. So 45, your eyes and your head should be turned towards center. Right, so you don't have a partner, you can do the same thing like me. Put a pair of shoes, put a pair of slippers, put a marker down. And in the beginning, right, where are you? Are you lined up right with that person? Or are you off? Or are you here? So in the beginning, although we say, don't look down, right? We're always, instructors, teachers are always yelling at the students, don't look down, don't look down. In the beginning, you do have to check. So in the very beginning, what does it feel like? Step 45, this foot comes here and look up. What does that feel like? Until you can do it without looking down, then you can check. Right? And after a while, you just know, oh, I did it right? That's the feeling. You can feel the width, you can feel the distance, you can feel the angle coming out. And repetition, right? It's all about repetition. Okay? So from the basics, step up 45, then variations will come. Taking a bigger step. If I take a bigger step for whatever reason, then I have a bigger shuffle. I have to bring that foot with me. So bigger step, right? Bigger shuffle. So this is just the initial self-defense block. Right? Shoulder down, just lifting. This hand comes up, the Mor Poon Jeong comes up. If I'm standing, it should end up here. It ends up about 45 degrees away from you. I don't know. There, you can kind of see it comes out, right? So it just lifts, comes to side. If I turn, right, it just lifts, comes to the side. It lifts, comes to the side. So let me talk a little bit about the Mor Poon Jeong. Right? If I'm standing, let's say I'm just trapped in a corner, I still want to be able to pivot. Okay? Pivot here. If I pivot here, right, then the hand again just comes to the center to meet, so I don't have to push it outside to clear my shoulder. I want to turn 45 degrees. So if I have to stand, by turning, I'm going to push the block to the side. That's not my ideal, to have to push the block to the side, because then the person is feeling it, right? I'm adding resistance. If I push against you, you're going to react. But if you don't feel anybody pushing against you, if your punch, your energy just flows, right? And I pivot around you, and I help you to turn in, right? Then you're less likely to react and pull back or change direction. You just keep going. So you want to actually help that person. But that comes with practice and refinement and such. Okay? Again, these are just basic, right? Just learning how to shift. And that's why you do the basic, and you go with the older student to the teacher, and you get caught. Why? Because they know they can shift. They can shift in other ways. They're adding layers and layers of knowledge, but they all started from the beginning. Okay? So if I come to the side and I stepped, can I turn to the person from here if I'm following through and catching the eye, right? Or using the left hand for some reason to catch here. Or I can turn out the other way. Or if I come here and I step up and I want to go around, so it could be a really big step and a shuffle, and catching from here. So in between catching this leg from here. Okay? So I'm no longer 45, I'm much more square to the front from here. And I might turn if I'm stepping from here, right? And this leg clears the leg and sweeps. And this hand catches the small of the back, and this hand catches the front, right? To basically try and throw the person over. Okay? So then I'm going to turn a little bit, but I'm really not going to turn too much here, unless I want to punch the body. So if I come here, and then I'm walking, and then I want to strike the body, I want to keep on walking, okay? Then I have to start turning towards the person. So depends what you want to do. Good. So again, going back to the Mor Poon Jeong, right? Practice it, learn it first, second fingers, second line eye level, coming up across, right? Understand it has to clear the shoulder, and then start turning the waist, okay? And then add it to footwork. Step and turn, step and turn, step and turn. Okay? Now, when I step side, now I'm turning. Right? I'm not stepping up 45. So it's not an exception. It looks like an exception to don't turn here. But it's not, because I'm stepping differently. Right? If I don't turn, I'm just too far outside. So I'm going to turn and ride. I'm going to ride the punch in. And pivot and ride the punch in from there. So again, how you turn, which way you face, just depends on the situation. But you have to practice it. And then you have to find the applications that skill and ability go with. Right? If you don't practice it, when the situation calls for it, you don't have it in your body. Okay? All right, so one more time, stepping up 45, the first part of the drill. Right? Learn to step 45, body follows. Second part, add the Mor Poon Jeong. Hand slides to the side. Shuffle or step up here. 45, Mor Poon Jeong, right? Hand slides into place, back leg shuffles up, steps up. Catch the person's foot. 1, 2. 1, 2. And really train yourself so avoid that temptation to turn and curve your body towards the person. Just follow 45 here, but learn to look at the person the whole time from here. And this is the turning of the head and following is probably what causes people to want to turn their whole body. So you have to get that reaction from there. Yeah. So in another lesson, we talk about this block, Sidestepping, double hand catching block, and that's one of the places where you see this come out. Okay, we use it with that. So